All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back for some more Java programming. This video is going to be about arithmetic operators, the assignment operator, combined assignment operators. We'll look at some order of operations type stuff. And I'm going to show you guys for the first time the J option pane and how to enter in some information and store it in variables. So let me open this up, and we're going to use just a normal sketchpad for this. No, I guess we're not. Do this. Start notepad. I just want a blank screen. Okay, cool. So first one. Sketchpad. All right, so we've got arithmetic operators. Okay, these are all operators that you've seen since elementary school. So we've got addition, subtraction, multiplication. Sorry, that's a star. Division, and this called modulus, which is the shift 5 button, the percent symbol. So, we could do just basic int a. Remember, int is an integer, and we could set that to 5, and we could have int b equals 2, and int c equals, actually we'll just make it semicolon at the end. So then we can do c equals a plus b, and if we did a system.out.println on C, the answer, is 5 plus 2, and that's 7. Okay, easy stuff. Basically, all this is the same for addition, subtraction, multiplication. Division gets a little bit funky. Let's go through division, okay? Because this is going to let me erase. Division gets a little bit funky with integers because, remember, ints are whole numbers. So if we had this int a equals 5, and we had int b equals 2, and int c, and we did c equals a divided by b, in real life, 5 divided by 2 would be equal to 2.5. But look at C. C is an integer. It only holds whole numbers. So what happens is the 0.5 gets chopped off. Okay, so C would actually display 2. C is actually equal to 2. Okay, so you need to remember that when you're working with division. So you may need to change C. You may need to change this, cross this out, and make it a double. So double C. Okay, and then it could then hold your 2.5. Okay, and I'll show you guys casting too. You probably want to put a double in front of this right here, and that casts it as a double, and I'm going to show you this when I open up the program. Okay, last one that is real simple, but you guys haven't done this for a while, is figuring out the remainder of a division problem. Okay, so I thought this was going to be able to erase faster. Alright, sorry you guys are watching this video and all I'm doing is erase. It'll take forever. Alright, so if we did that, okay, I need to write it out again. So int a equals 5 and int b equals 2, and we did int c, and we did c equals 5, or sorry, yeah, a modulus b. What that's really doing is elementary math, where you take 2 into 5, and you go, okay, how many times does 2 go into 5? It goes in twice. So 2 times 2 is 4. You subtract that out, you get 1, right? And remainder 1. Okay, so in this case, the answer to this is 1. Okay, so it's finding the remainder up here. There's lots of cases where you would want to use this. Like, let's say if you wanted to figure out if a number was even or odd. Okay, so let's say we're looking at A, all right? So if you wanted to figure out if A was even or odd, you would just do A modulus 2, okay? And if that comes out, if this answer equals 0, then it's even, okay? But if it comes out as a 1, it's odd, right? Because any number, 7 modulus 2, how many times does 2 go into 7? Goes in 3 times, so you've got 3 minus 3 times 2 is 6. You get 1, remainder 1, okay? But let's say A is 8, so you got 2 that goes into 8, and it goes in 4 times. 4 times 2 is 8. Subtract those out, you get 0, remainder 0. That's getting really sloppy here, so I apologize. But again, 2 goes into 8, and it gives you a remainder 0. All right, so the modulus is going to give you remainders. Cool. Delete this whole thing. Next thing I'm going to go through quickly is the assignment operators and delete. Cool. Assignment operators and combined operators. So we got assignment / combined. Okay, so this is your equals. Use this to assign. Okay, that's easy. But then we get into these ones right here where we're going plus equals, minus equals, multiply equals, divide equals, and modulus equals. So basically, if we had, let's see here, we had int a equals 5 again, and int b equals 2 again. We could do a plus equals b, okay? And that is going to take the value of a, which is 5, and add 2 to it. So the value is 5, and we're going to add 2 to it, and it's going to reassign it in here, and a is going to equal 7. Okay. Yeah, you're used to this. It would be equals a plus b, where you got 5 plus 2, and then this becomes 7. Programmers don't like typing, so they come up with fancy ways to combine things together so they don't have to type as much. And they do this all the time. So these are your combined operators, all right? And it would be the same with you know, if you did a minus equals b, okay? That's the equivalent of going a equals a minus b, all right? And so you got 5 minus 2 gives you 3, and so the same thing, your answer here is 3. Okay, so you'll often find combined operators, all right? Let's do another one. Another combined operators, you'll see these plus plus and minus minus. Let's say we had an int I, and that was equal to 7, okay? If I did I plus plus, okay, and then did a system dot out dot print on I, okay, it would basically print 8 right here. Because what this does is, this is equivalent to I equals I plus 1. Okay, so when you see these plus pluses, it's just incrementing by 1. All right, same with minus minus. If you did I minus minus here, and if none of this existed right here, when this stuff existed, and I was 7, okay, and you did a system.out.print 6 would display here because it's basically doing I equals I minus 1. Okay, so again, programmers don't like typing, so you got I minus minus, that's equivalent to I equals I minus 1. All right, so let's open up Java and look at some of these as examples. And I'm going to show you some stuff to kind of throw you through a loop. Okay, so I'm just going to call this program my arithmetic operator test. Okay. Come on. Sorry about this, guys. I should have had it open. All right, so file, new project, and I'll just say next here, and I'll call this Arithmetic Operators, and just say finish. Now I went back and watched my second video where I thought I'd fixed the fonts and stuff for you guys, but now I think I really got it working good, so this should be better for you guys. Okay. So let's look at this. Let's say we've got int a equals 5, int b equals 2. I think we're good with the plus minus multiplication. I mean, I can do this right here. I can say system.out.println, okay, and I can go a plus b a minus b a times b, and you know what, I'm going to put a label in front of them because I'm going to print this to a screen. So I got a plus b. Okay. A minus b a times b. Okay. A divided by b and I got a modulus b. All right, let's run this thing and see what we get. Run anyways. What's going on here? I got an error, exception, runtime, uncompilable source, types, a plus b. Okay, so this is going to actually... All right, what this demonstrates, that was a good error. This demonstrates how you're doing stuff when you're printing to the screen. So notice you're trying to concatenate a string a math problem. That just doesn't work. So I put this in parentheses, and now I got my actual answer. Now notice up here, look at how screwed up this is. A plus B, it's 5, and it's a string, so it's concatenating this. So you got 5 plus 2, so that's giving me 52 because it thinks it's a string. So it's adding these together as a string. It's concatenating 5 and 2 as opposed to adding those. So I need to come up here. Okay, now watch what happens here. Now it gives me that 7, okay? Right here, this is actually working properly. It's giving me 5 times 2. It's actually giving me 10 down here, okay? Remember what I said, 5 divided by 2 gives me 2, okay? Not 2.5. So if I want to fix that, I could cast this as a double, and that should work properly and give me 2.5. Yep. Okay. So that's casting 2 integers as a double. And then remember I said 5 modulus 2, this gives you a remainder of 1. Now let me show you guys something else, because there's a rule that I use for modulus. Okay. And what if I did B modulus A? Okay. This is just a little trick. So B modulus A. So if the first number here is less than the second, then you use the first number. So this should be 2. Okay. So 2 modulus 5 is 2 right here. Okay. 2 modulus 5 is 2. So if that's just a trick. If the first number is less than the second number, it's always the first number. Okay. Else you got to do your, elementary division, okay? All right. Let's do some other things with this. Let's see here. We could do our printlns, okay? We could do A plus equals B here. A plus equals B. Just run this real quick. Okay, run anyway. Whoops. See what's going on here. So I'm gonna have to, again, I'm gonna have to put this in a okay, A plus equals B, that is 7. I'm going to copy all these now. So I'm going to do my minus, I'm going to do my multiplication, my division, and then my modulus. Okay, so I run those again. A plus equals B, whoops, and then I forgot to do this, minus multiplication, division, and modulus. Okay, so A plus equals B. Okay, so everything looks pretty good here. All right, you got to remember your order of operations, so everything in parentheses first. Then we do our division and multiplication problems, and then we go to our addition and subtraction, and it's all left to right, standard math. So let's do our pluses and my. Okay, so here we go. Here's something. Let me delete this stuff right here. Okay, and let's do this. Int I equals 7. Okay. Now watch this. Okay. All right, so if I do I plus plus here, okay, and I print this, okay, I is 8, okay, no problems. So what is this equivalent to? Remember, it's basically I equals I plus 1. All right, so that's what this line is equivalent to. Notice I put in a comment there. All right, now where my high school kids, I'll have them make mistakes here, and you don't see this a lot, but if I do a plus plus here, the kids go, oh, that should be 8. Look what happens, 7 prints, okay? What this is saying is that it's actually going to print this stuff up, and after it's done, it's going to add 1 to it. So if I go down here and do a system.out.println and do I again, okay, it'll print 7 and then it'll print 8, okay? If for some reason you're doing a print and you need it to print right there, you actually need to do plus plus I, okay? And those would print 8, okay? So it actually is saying, okay, now I want to add 1 to I first, and then I'm going to print this stuff. Same goes for, same thing as with minus minus. This is going to print 7, and then it's going to print 6. 7 and 6. If I want to switch that up and I want it to print the 6 first, it should print 6 and 6, okay? So that's good. Let me see here. Alright, so last thing I'm going to go through is showing you guys how to get this JPAN stuff working. Alright, so Java is object-oriented, so the nice thing about it is, in the old, and actually I'm kind of, by programming everything in main, you're actually kind of learning procedural programming. In the last chapter of this book, it goes into object-oriented programming. I usually teach object-oriented straight from the very beginning, but I'm going to follow the book, and I'm not going to really get off course with that. But procedural programming, it was like the old days where you had one big file and you did step by step by step by step. Object-oriented programming is they took they basically broke the programs up into different classes, and a class is like kind of like a set of blueprints. If you were going to build a house you would have a set of blueprints, okay? And from the house, or from the blueprints, what you can do is you can create real things called objects. And the objects are actually real, whereas the class is you know, you could have a class, let's say you had a class called planet, okay? There's nothing out there called that. There's nothing that's really a planet. There's Earth, which Earth is real. There's Mars is real. But a planet is just an idea of a planet, okay? It's not real. It's, you know, all planets would have, I don't know, like a gravity or mass or I'm not a physicist, so I have no clue all the properties of a planet, but all planets have certain properties, and what would happen is you could create an object called Earth, and Earth could then use all the different properties that the planet class has. So below this package, you can import java x.swing.j. You could come down here. Where's J option? J option pane. J option pane. It's kind of nice. You can memorize that, or you can just type it in, which is kind of cool. So what this does is this is importing the J option pane class. Now, it's nice. You don't need to know anything about it. You just need to know what methods to call. Methods are actions. They do something, okay? So right here, I could have string, age string, okay? So a string can hold anything. I have an int age, and I have, let's see here, I will have age string, and I will set that to my J option pane. Whoops, J option pane dot, and we are going to show. So show input dialog. Okay, and what this is doing is it's going to accept an object, okay? Show input dialog, and it's only going to accept the one. And in this case, we are going to have it show, please enter your age. Okay. All right. So, and then I need a semicolon to end the statement. All right. So if I run this, can we make this any bigger? I'm going to have to go through my stuff again. Basically what that did was it created my J option pane, okay? And if you could see it, the title said, please enter your age, okay? So if I go down here and notice that age is a string and it wants me to enter in an age. Well, what I need to do then is I'm going to have my age variable created, which is int, and when I enter that information, it's going to be equal to integer dot parse int. Okay, and it's going to be age string. So my age string is a string. Remember, it can hold everything, and int holds whole numbers. So I want to be able to type this in now, and if I do system.out.println, now I can print my age. Okay, so let's run this again real quick. Okay, again, it's hard to see. I'm going to have to fix that in the next video. I got to research how to do that. But if I type in my age is 37 and I say okay, then age 37 pops up. All right, so again, what's happening here, the J option pane, that's like your box that pops up. That's this thing right here. It's the pane that pops up, the option pane. And that has a method inside of it. Now remember, J option pane I said was a class. J option pane. It has a method in it called show input dialog box, all right? And so that is going to show this right here, please enter your age. I pass in please enter your age, and it displays up here, okay? And then what happens is I, the user, or type in my number, and what happens the minute I press OK, this age string right here gets parsed as an integer and gets thrown into my age variable, okay? And then all I do is just display my age down here, okay? So next time I'll look into that, making those J option panes larger. But we went through a lot in this video. This was the longest one. Arithmetic operators, assignment operators, the combined operators, and then your J option pane. So you guys got a lot to look at tonight. So enjoy.